Hello, today is your second day of classes by video. So now you are YouTubers. So we are going to start special uses of models part 1, and we are going to see also language in use and grammar pages 118 and 190. Yes. So we're going to start. And uh, do you enjoy riding a bike? I don't. No, believe me. One day I was riding a bike here at Celaya, and a car opened the door, and the taxi driver saw me by the mirror, and he did it on purpose. That day I hated, and I never ride a bike again in my whole life. Well, this is my experience, but maybe it is different for you. Listen to a program on bike safety. It can be inferred that only the instructor has, or both the instructor and participants have, thought about safety before. So you are going to tell me only the instructor or both the instructor and participant have thought about safety. ¿Qué quiere decir? Que para ustedes, de acuerdo a lo que dice, que solamente el instructor o tanto los participantes como el instructor ya habían pensado sobre la seguridad. Okay, so we are going to listen, and then one more time we are going to use the pictures to guess the missing words in the safety tips. Yes, and then listen again to check it. Well, so we are going to start with the audio. Let me put it here. Oh my goodness. Well, so now you are going to listen one more time. You're going to listen twice. One to check it is only the instructor, okay, and also is the instructor and participants have the same thought. Please listen again and complete the missing words in the safety tips. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to put the audio. Oh my goodness. I need to put it first here.
Audio 11.7. Welcome to City Awareness, our training course on responsible bicycle safety for those over 25. I'm very pleased that you've shown up today, and our goal, of course, is to teach you not only to enjoy a great sport, but to enjoy it safely. Let me start with a common myth. It's like riding a bicycle, we often say when talking about skills we'll never lose. But how good were those skills to begin with? While it's true we may have learned to ride a bike when we were young, 5, 6, 7 years old, none of us ever learned how to defend ourselves in 21st century traffic. Before I show you a video on the 10 most important safety features, let's just spend a minute brainstorming. Why are you here today?
I'm here because I'm nervous. I used to ride on the sidewalk when I was growing up, but now that's illegal where I live. It fills me with dread to have to ride where cars are moving.
It shouldn't be hard to remember one important rule, though. Always ride with and not against traffic. That means with the flow of traffic, and naturally stay as far to the right as possible if there's no bike lane. In fact, did you know that riding against traffic can be up to 3 times as dangerous as riding with it?
No, I had no idea.
Yes. So, what else comes to mind?
Bike riding can really reduce stress, but only if you start out feeling relaxed.
That's easier said than done.
I'd say it helps if you learn your surroundings first. If I'm traveling and I rent a bike, for example, I won't ride my first day in a new city. First, I make sure I know my way around. I always buy a map and explore the area on foot to be sure I won't have any distractions when I'm riding.
That's a good point. Distracted riding can be every bit as dangerous as distracted driving. In fact, you might try riding only during the day at first. Then make sure to buy a headlight. Your visibility is reduced at night. But you need to keep an eye on traffic conditions as far ahead of you as possible, just like in a car.
Speaking of conditions up ahead, you know what gets to me? All these stories you hear about people being doored. It happened to a good friend of mine. The driver could have looked before opening his door right into the path of her bike. It was a close call. But often they never do. If drivers are looking at all, it's only for cars. So be careful.
That's very true. If you have to stop suddenly, it's important to know how, isn't it?
Absolutely. You might want to take some basic precautions even when you're buying a new bike. Make sure your feet can not only touch the ground, but that the ball of your foot can support your weight. The seat may be adjustable, but sometimes the lowest position is actually too high. Try it out at the store.
That's good advice. And in my case, I haven't ridden in 20 years. Do you have any advice just for getting started? As I said, I'm very nervous.
I've heard there are refresher courses.
That's right. I taught one recently. Above all, give yourself time. One student had very poor balance. They all should have mastered the basics in a few days, but she took much longer, so don't be too hard on yourself. When you're 100% comfortable, that's when you can plan bike outings.
Okay, excellent. If you need to put the audio one more time so you don't forget to do it. Did you complete it? I hope you do. Well, now we are going to listen. Okay, for a minute. We're going to put it over. Listen to an eyewitness account from 2 points of view. What safety rule did each person violate? Whose behavior is more dangerous? Okay, so you're going to tell me what is more dangerous. So one more time, we are going to listen, please.
Audio 11.8. Now we're going to watch an eyewitness account from 2 points of view. We'll then explore what went wrong.
You can't believe how shaken I am right now. I was nearly killed.
What happened exactly?
So I was about to cross the street, and this bike, going the wrong way, was speeding toward me. But of course, I didn't see him because I was looking to the left. I never dreamed in a million years there would be a bike going against traffic.
Very dangerous, I agree.
So I step into the street and see this bike coming right at me. He's turning left. I swear, I screamed at the top of my lungs. I had no idea I could scream that loudly.
And then?
He swerved to avoid hitting me. He veered off to the left, and quite fortunately, he screeched to a halt before he knocked someone else over instead. The skid marks were visible on the ground.
Now we're going to hear the other side of the story.
You were going the wrong way on your bike and nearly caused an accident. Can you tell us?
This city has no respect for bikes. There are no bike lanes. The other side of the street has ongoing construction. I've got to get to work, man.
Yes, I sympathize, but what exactly happened?
So this woman, instead of waiting on the sidewalk for the light to change, she was standing in the street. I simply never saw her.
That's not good.
And then she started to cross and, well, she just froze in her tracks instead of moving out of the way. I mean, I guess she must have gotten frightened because she just stopped dead, I swear. It was awful. I could feel the color draining from my face. I just turned white. You know, one of those heart-stopping moments?
I've had them.
A chill went through my body. My hair stood on end. If you could have seen me in the mirror, it was standing straight up. But I guess I'm lucky to have fast reflexes because somehow I narrowly missed her. I'm still shaking.
Okay. Whose behavior is more dangerous for you? What do you think? Well, I'm going to give you the answers of this so you can check them. Let me put it a little bit bigger so it is easier for you to see. Please stop the video so you have the opportunity to watch calmly. Okay, I'm going to take it out. Stop the video before. And then I'm going to give you also the answer of this part. Okay. The cyclist was cycling against the flow of traffic. The woman crossed the road without looking properly. Okay, waiting for the lights to change. This is the problem. But I think both were dangerous. But well, if the woman crossed and checked properly, this is important always to see both sides, no? Well, now I'm going to put it small, and we have this last part of the audios. Oh, thanks God, you said. To say here, listen to excerpts 1 to 6 from the conversation. Choose the missing phrase or sentences below for each beep. Continue listening to check. Froze in her tracks, my hair stood on end, screeched to a halt. I could feel the color draining from my face, scream at the top of my lungs son pulmones. Zero to avoid hitting me. Okay, please, you can use the Google. So if you have any questions, because I'm not sure if you know or not know, y no quiero dar respuestas, sino que traten ustedes mismos what is the meaning, okay, in this moment. Well, I'm going to put you the next track, listen and answer before I put the answers.
Audio 11.9. 1.
So I step into the street and see this bike coming right at me. He's turning left. I swear, I had no idea I could scream that loudly. So I step into the street and see this bike coming right at me. He's turning left. I swear, I screamed at the top of my lungs. I had no idea I could scream that loudly.
This is your cyber teacher, Helen. Let's look at the first expression. To scream at the top of your lungs means to scream as loud as you can. And the clue is the next sentence. I had no idea I could scream that loudly.
That's important.
2.
And then?
He veered off to the left.
And then?
He swerved to avoid hitting me. He veered off to the left.
To swerve means to veer or steer suddenly to one side. The clue is the next sentence. He veered off to the left.
3.
And quite fortunately, before he knocked someone else over instead. The skid marks were visible on the ground. And quite fortunately, he screeched to a halt before he knocked someone else over instead. The skid marks were visible on the ground.
To screech to a halt means to come to a stop very suddenly. The next sentence gives a clue. The skid marks were visible on the ground.
4.
And then she started to cross and, well, she just... instead of moving out of the way. I mean, I guess she must have gotten frightened because she just stopped dead, I swear. And then she started to cross and, well, she just froze in her tracks instead of moving out of the way. I mean, I guess she must have gotten frightened because she just stopped dead, I swear.
To freeze in your tracks means to be paralyzed with fright. And the next sentence is a clue. I mean, I guess she must have gotten frightened because she just stopped dead, I swear.
5.
It was awful. I just turned white. You know, one of those heart-stopping moments? It was awful. I could feel the color draining from my face. I just turned white. You know, one of those heart-stopping moments?
When the color drains from your face, your blood flow is protecting your internal organs. This is a response to fright. And the next sentence is, I just turned white. Another way to express that you are terrified.
6.
A chill went through my body. If you could have seen me in the mirror, it was standing straight up. A chill went through my body. My hair stood on end. If you could have seen me in the mirror, it was standing straight up.
If your hair stands on end, it means you're so frightened your hair becomes vertical. And sure enough, he then gives us a clue and says, if you could have seen me in the mirror, it was standing straight up. So, as you can see, if you listen carefully, you can often figure out what expressions mean from what comes next. When telling a story, speakers like to repeat themselves for emphasis.
Okay, that's why I told you I couldn't give you the correct answer before the audio, but because in the audio it's already given. Well, so now we are going to see the next part, that is the introduction for the special uses of modals. Read the grammar box and complete the rule. Then write A to D in the boxes next to the underlined examples. Okay? Expectation. Remember, all the modal verbs, the next verb is in infinitive form o bare infinitive. Se le conoce como bare infinitive al infinitivo incompleto o comúnmente llamado base form. This is something that never changes, okay? We might as well forget. Aquí está separado por una expresión, pero aún así el verbo que le sigue is in base form. Now, please, I want that you to read this, okay? And then A, B, C, or D. They say they write AD in the boxes next to the underline examples in 3D. Esta parte no las vamos a saltar because, let me check, okay? In 3B, que es en esta sección. If you have the book, I think it's a good idea that you could do it, okay? For example, I could have looked. So this is the emphasizing. If not, si lo quieres hacer de todas maneras, you can rewind the video. Aquí se las estoy poniendo. And you're supposed to have the answers in your notebooks. So, están a la mano, okay? You rewind the video just a little bit. And analyze this. Modal verbs have more than 1 minute, should also expressed, might and could also expressed, and will also describes a event. Okay, read, try to do your best. I'm going to give you the answers already, so please stop the video, try to read, and in a moment I give you these three, okay? Did you stop the video? Okay, I hope that you have the three options. Should also express obligations, also express could and might, possibility, and will also describe a future event. Okay, obligation, possibility, and future event. Well, so please rewind the video and you put what can be the correct answers. Yes, A to D. So A, expectation, or in this part. Okay, what those means. Ya se los volví a poner. Okay, excellent. You can take a photo as you're working in the, how do you say, in the computer, on the computer, take a photo and you can be working like that. That's all for me today. Have a great day. Bye bye.